What is going on, beautiful people? How we doing today, man? So I want to talk to you guys about signing contracts, bro, and why you should always wait until you're comfortable to start signing paperwork. Because people just signing, like it's not a legally binding document. And you would think like, oh yeah, no, everyone understands the way loans work, the way contracts work, the way liens work. Like if you don't pay somebody back, man, you might have a lien against your house, like they could sue you if you don't obey a contract. And there are a lot of consequences to this. They can mess up your credit score because at that point, you're not paying back. You're not paying them back for a service or for a product, or you're not paying them back the money they gave you. If it's like a bank, And I be on the phone with people sometimes, and this is for all loans. This is for vehicles, mortgages, home equity lines of credit. They don't realize that like the details inside the contract are non-negotiable because we presented the terms to you, you agreed, you signed, and now you're held responsible. And it's not just like that with loans. It's like that with like cable services. There was once upon a time where I did tech support for Comcast, and we also had to help with billing and with sales. So these billing calls would come across, bro. And they would be like, oh, my internet went up after 3 years. I had a 2-year contract, but my bill went up like 30%, and they're like locked in with home phone, internet, and cable. They call that the triple play. The triple screw you. That's what it is, because it's so expensive and you get all this extra that you don't need, like channels you don't watch, your home phone you don't even use, and you just want the internet, you feel me, so you can stream. But that's how they get you. And we had all these people calling in because they're already paying a lot because they have 3 services: cable, home phone, and internet. And so now it's like, do I drop one of them and it gets even more expensive, but I get less? Or do I just keep paying, more than I was last year because my contract went up? It's like a mental game, that they try to play, and they try to challenge your ability to do short-term math or long-term mathematics, right? Because you see how much it costs for you not being a contract is a little bit more, right? But if you are in a contract, it's way cheaper, but it only works that way for 2 years. And then the third year, after the third year and beyond, they just completely screw you. And you would be able to see this if you read your contract, and that's just an example. I've worked for many other companies where I had to review paperwork in some way, shape, or form to somebody on the phone, and they're salty AF. And it's a legally binding document, like I said, man. And, even with people's mortgages, I'd be so shocked because that's what I mainly do now. Like, people call in about issues that they're having with their mortgage or with their taxes or with their insurance, something for their house, their home appraisal, so they pick up the phone, they call me or whatever, and I answer their questions. And the people that I talk to, that sometimes the real estate agent didn't tell them enough information for them to be confident, and for them to be aware of what's going on, there might be certain fees, in opening or in closing you weren't aware of. People having liens on their house, having no clue, and other penalties, forbearance, people not understanding how that works. And then people also don't understand how just a normal mortgage works, and there's so many different kinds, not to bore you guys, but there's this thing called, I think it's called a 7-year ARM loan. And it's pretty much, it's adjustable rate. It's adjustable rate mortgage. Yeah. So pretty much what this does is it can go up. It's a rate for your mortgage, right? Because normally the rate doesn't change over the course of 15 years or 30 years, right? But on this 7-year adjustable rate mortgage loan, it's all coming back to me. It can go up, it can go down, but it depends how the economy's doing, right? So our economy is doing absolutely terrible, right? So everything's going up for interest rates, including credit cards. I've been applying for credit cards. It's super high. And so anyway, the interest rate goes up, but it goes up for your mortgage, and that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. And people don't realize that this could end very badly for you if you don't got the money laying around for this house. It's just, it's all inside your paperwork. The power of waiting. Get a lawyer if you don't feel confident, or a paralegal, somebody that can just read legal documents so you have a good understanding of what the heck you're signing. People are getting screwed over. Loans in itself and borrowing and just contracts are just scary. I try to avoid signing contracts, But that's the only way you could truly get somebody to pay you back the money that they owe you, or that they agreed. You know, not what you thought it was, but what you actually signed in the paperwork. Like sometimes people, like for example, and I'm not putting nobody out there, I was helping this dude with his auto loan. This happened this week. I was helping this dude with his auto loan. He just got the truck, 2024 F-150, right? And so he's calling in to me saying that, you know, he wasn't able to pay, you know, his loan for X amount of time because he didn't get a statement. He was told that there was going to be no interest attached to his principal. Guys, he had this truck for like 2 months. So of course, there was going to be interest attached. So so he's upset, right? And he was told before that there would be no interest because he couldn't make payments. He just wanted to pay it off. He couldn't, but, you know, too bad, so sad. You signed this document, you know, that says you're going to pay the interest attached to this principal. And he was like, oh, no, I want to speak to your supervisor. And it's like, no matter how high you go up, you know, it doesn't matter if you ask for a supervisor, a manager in a bank. It could be, there's somebody from the back office, operations manager. They're going to have to stick to that contract. Like they can make you feel good. They can blow all the smoke up your butt you want, but the company is going to stick by that contract, right? And they're A, because it's in their best interest, and B, because they can and you signed it. And even though you are like, I'm going to badmouth the company, these companies are huge. Okay, I hate to say it. These companies are huge. They have great marketing team. They have great human resources teams. They have lawyers. They have attorneys. Like these banks, these cable companies, internet service providers. You know, these giant companies have so much money that, like, you know, it's nothing. They're not going to sue you, but you can't sue them and win. It's really difficult. So, and it's a waste of energy because they have the documents that you signed. You know, so. I mean, maybe at best you can get them you can get the court to see that they gave you a bad contract. That's about it. You signed a bad contract. People do it all the time. But yeah, man, it could be devastating, bro. It could be devastating. And people sign the worst contracts from what I've seen with the bigger companies, you know, with companies that are trusted, household names, you know, cell phone companies, internet providers, mortgages, life insurance companies. Like, it goes on, dude. Insurance companies, like, I can go on forever. All these different industries and all these different services are provided to you, but you have to sign paperwork to get it. And it's not always a good deal, but it's life. Everything's a hustle. You know, that's one thing that I'm learning. 28 years on this earth, man. I'm still learning. It's humbling. As I get older, I start to realize how much I don't know. When I was younger, I used to think I knew like everything, you know, but yeah, man, like everything's a hustle, man. Like everything's a hustle. Don't think that it's not, right? Because even signing a contract is a hustle, right? Because they're exchanging your commitment to that product or service, normally in exchange for a cheaper rate, but they get to lock you in longer, right? So you can't go to any other competitor. Or maybe you do if it's like a service. Let's say you got a lawn guy, you don't like the way he cutting your grass, you get a new one, right? You get a new guy to cut your grass. But you still got to pay the first guy if you signed a contract. It don't matter if he cutting the grass or not. You sign for it, so you might as well cut the grass, you know? It's just the way it works. So I'm realizing like all this stuff and how it happens and how it works. And, you know, because I've got to see it from so many different angles. It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. They really get you. I know if I get a business, I'm going to make people sign contracts. But yeah, hopefully this is important to me and to you guys, because it might help somebody, right? Because somebody might have gotten a contract for a phone, for a car, for a loan, student loans, maybe for a business, for a house, you know, like make sure you read what's in there, you know, like if you don't know, you better start Googling every word you don't understand, because you'll get screwed or you'll get put in a bad situation because you're ignorant, you know. Sometimes, you know, you might think something is one thing and it's not that the company's screwing you over. They gave you, you know, they presented a product or a service and you agreed to it, but it just wasn't what you were looking for. That happens sometimes too, but, you know, it's just kind of wild. It's very interesting to see the way things work. in our society and business. And, you know, that's important. That's important. So, yeah, I ain't gonna hold y'all, man, but make sure if you get paperwork to sign that you're just conscious of what's going on, you know, the exchange. You're paying less, but I got you locked in for 2 years. I got you locked in for a year, you know, so your commitment is why you're getting the discounted service. You know, that's why normally if you just try to pay month to month, it's more. There's always a get over. Nothing is free. Nothing is free, man. They always gonna come back around. If anything is free, just know that the person that gave you that for free, they're gonna circle back. And when they circle back, they're gonna charge you more than you would have. They're gonna charge you more, and it's gonna cost you more than if you just would have paid for it up front. That's the way it works. Because you're a sucker. I don't know about y'all. I ain't no blow pop, all right? I ain't no dum-dum. I ain't no Tootsie Pop. You know, no Jolly Rancher-ish over here. But yeah, man, I hope y'all have a good day, man. It's just something I wanted to talk to you guys about because that's what I do for a living. I talk to people about loans. I look to help people with documents, to help people with situations, help. Angry people that need help. It's like, you know, definitely some job security, but I don't recommend. Very stressful. But yeah, man, I'd be wishing that these people would just read their paperwork because their lives could be a lot easier because you can make more informed decisions. Businesses don't want informed customers, you know, because they ask more questions, takes them longer to sign paperwork, they compare you to your competitors and so on. You know, it's more resistance to get to your wallet. That's all everybody trying to do. Every company, they just trying to get to your wallet. That's all marketing and sales is, advertising. It's just a presentation to separate you from your wallet and for you to give me some of that cash. You know, everything's a hustle. But I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. I ain't trying to get too deep on y'all, but yeah, man, the world is funny. Watch what you sign. Peace.